Hello everyone, I am Jessica Martin. I am getting ready to show you a classroom tour. I teach first grade, so let's get started. So here you see is a bulletin board for my students to show off their work. So it just says, let's show off our work. I got some of those letters from Hobby Lobby, and some of these pom-poms came from the Dollar Tree. You get two for $1. So we're going to go ahead and head inside of the classroom. But before I go inside, the principal required us to do a welcome board. So I just chose to do a welcome board on my door. It just says welcome first grade. And all my students' names are, of course, on the door. Actually, these are made out of little flower petals, and I didn't have enough. So that's what they look like on the back. So I just went on and traced them on a white sheet of paper and cut them out into that same little pattern. All right, so as we come in, you have something that says TOD, and TOD just stands for ticket out the door. And here are the numbers. My students have numbers, so whenever we do like a math assignment, or I want them to do like some type of exit ticket for any subject, I'll have them write it on a sticky note and they'll just stick it on their number. So that's just like some type of formative assessment that I want us to do this year. Here are cubbies. Last year they used this to put their personal items in them, and that was a total chaos because the kids kept getting up out of their seats and grabbing like little supplies out of there that they didn't need, just things I wanted to play with. So we're not going to utilize that at all for personal items. I'm actually going to do a community classroom this year, so these are going to be used for their take-home folders. Up here is the calendar. I also got this from Hobby Lobby. So
Mr. Wilson, if you're still in the building, would you please go to room 118? We need to replace a teacher desk. Mr. Wilson, if you would go to room 118, Ms. Wells, we need to replace a teacher desk. Thank you, Mr. Wilson.
all right, sorry about that. So here you see we have a calendar, and I just change it out by month and of course by days. So here where you see today is Monday, yesterday was Sunday, tomorrow will be Tuesday. So it came with numbers, it came with the seasons, it came with like the days of the week, and I think it came with something else. Oh, it came with all those dates and also the holidays. But I didn't want to use that every day because I know I'm not going to keep up with it. So I just used the calendar and then the days of the week at the top. Here I also got from Hobby Lobby, and it's just a birthday board. So what I'm going to do is put the student's name on a sticky note and the date for their birthday, and then just stick it underneath the month their birthday is in. My math board, and these are my math centers. So I have guided math, hands-on math, Moby Max, first in math, and I plan to add another center at the bottom, which is going to be guided math. I have IEP students this year, so I have students with learning disabilities this year, so I'm going to have some support coming in. So I'm actually going to add my support person in my center rotation, so she's going to be another guided math center. And usually I will have numbers attached to the clips. So for instance, say this is group 1, center 2, center 3 and center 4, and I'll have a center 5. But for instance, this is center 4, so I will rotate it this way. All I would do is just take one and move it down, move it down, move this one down, and the one I got from the bottom right here, I just move it up. And that's how the centers rotate. And down here are the groups. So last year I had 4 groups because I started off with a small class, but then my class grew to a larger class. So yeah, it became too hard to manage because it was too many students in one group. So this year I'm going to do 5 groups just to make room for that growth. of kids coming in. And so here I already have names and things like that stuck on a popsicle stick, but I'm not going to group them until after they test, and that way I'll group them based on their data. So, and then here, I'm gonna move this for a second. So this is a little drawer that I got from Ross, and I had it for about 3 years, and as you can see, the knobs are missing, but hey, you gotta recycle when you're on a teacher budget. So here I have like money, snap cubes, counting chips, shapes, base 10 blocks. So this is where my math manipulatives will go this year. Last year I utilized this for math games and like Turnitin sheets, but that became very messy. So this year I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to have a pocket chart for like that goes here for like math worksheets and things like that to turn in, but and also math games. But here is just their manipulatives, and as you can see, like in here, snap cubes, counting chips, shapes, and base 10 blocks are at the bottom. And at the top, those money, little coins. So that is what we're going to utilize that for this year. And then as we move across the board, we have science. So any anchor charts I have for science is going to go in the science area. Any content anchor charts I have for social studies is going to go in the social studies area. And any anchor charts I create for reading are going to go in the reading area. And like I said, I prefer it that way because I don't like anchor charts all over the wall, just because I want students to know what they're learning. I want them to be able to know like what anchor chart goes with what strategies go with what. And yeah, and that just looks messy and disorganized to me. So I just laid it out this way. And you may be wondering or thinking, well, what do you do with the old anchor charts? Because they're always going to be replaced daily. And so something that I'm currently not working on, like I'll change my anchor chart week by week for each subject area. So if it's something that I'm actually going to cut them in half so I can fit multiple anchor charts on one board. So hopefully I'll be able to fit at least 2, and I'm going to push for 4. But yeah, if it's anything that we're not currently learning, then I would just store it and put it somewhere else. But anything that we are currently learning at the moment, I would have it on the board. Unless it's like something called a power standard or something like that, something that's kind of ongoing, I would leave it up on the board. But other than that, I'll just change them out depending on what I'm teaching. So here again are centers for reading. And I'm going to do another video actually going through like the type of centers I have and the type of work my students do in their centers. But like the first center is work with teacher, which is guided reading. Then students do read to self. They get on the computers, and when they get on computers, they get on an app called MyLexia. And that app actually, it's like with phonics, the students, they're able to like read on there, answer questions if they're at that level. But it's a program that goes with the students' reading level. So it's just simply for, it's personalized for their learning. And then we have some work, and I'm going to go through that center as well. And then we have listen to reading, and that's a center I'm going to show you. That's another section in my room. And again, like I showed you over there with the math, these will have numbers attached to the clips. And so I would just move the clips, and that's how the students will rotate to their centers. They go to, for reading, they would rotate twice. So I'll see 2 reading groups. And then we have like an academic enrichment time. So that's just like for intervention. And we do reading 3 days a week for academic enrichment. So like I would move it again twice. So I'll see 2 more groups during academic enrichment time. All right. And then at the bottom are the groups again, just like I have in math. And of course, right now they're not grouped yet because they haven't tested, but when they do test, I'll group them based on their data. So students will come up and know what group they're in. They'll know where they go. That way they'll lessen down some confusion. I'll tell them before they go to their center, like what group they're in, but in case they forget, they could just kind of walk over here and see, or find their names and see like what number they're, what number or group they're in. And I do not like these cords here, but I have to find a solution to that. I haven't found one yet, but if you have any suggestions, please let me know. Okay, I'm gonna walk over here. This is my WordWorks Center. So this is where they were turning their sheets. We have Rainbow Write and Sort, Make a Word, Search and Color, Word Hunt. And at the bottom, they're going to actually practice writing their names and tracing just like vocab words or spelling words. Because I do have different students this year and they're just coming from kindergarten, so they don't really know how to write yet. Their penmanship is going to be off some, so I'm going to have like a practice writing words, just tracing words and like practice writing at the bottom. Okay, so we walk over. This is my desk. So last year my desk was in the front of the room, but I moved it to the back because I wanted to create more space for my reading garden, or like my little reading area. And I couldn't see them back here, so I put it where my desk used to be last year. But I also traded my desk out as well because I had a larger desk and it just took up too much space. So I got a smaller one. And that is my little dot cam. And I love this. I just teach from this thing all day. But well, not all day, but like during writing and sometimes math. And right here is my writing board. So I created this on here. I did not have like a bulletin board like I do in the back. So here I just took some black construction bulletin board paper or whatever, construction paper, like border, whatever you call it. And I just taped it on the wall. And then I just bought some of this border from Hobby Lobby. Went around it, taped that there, and I hot glued the little pom-poms. So I am praying that this stays up because it's just holding on, you know, with tape. So I don't know any other way to really make it stick, but it's just been sticking up so far. So hopefully it stays up that way the whole year. And then this is my bookshelf. So this is not a bookshelf for students. This is for guided reading, and we do the Wonder series here. So I would just choose a book, and they're actually like 3 to 4 levels in like one case. And so I'll just go based on their Lexile level, and that's how I will do my guided reading. Those are the books I use for guided reading. So again, that's on the other side. Back here are my 2 desktop computers. We really didn't use these last year because we come with like, well, the class comes with like a 10 iPads. So each class for K through 2, you get about 10 iPads, and the apps are on the iPads that they use for their learning, and the apps aren't really easy to find on the desktop. You have to go through multiple steps, and that's just really long for a first grader. So we don't really use these desktops unless it's just like an urgent need, but other than that, we don't use this. And then this is my progress wall. So a progress wall is just like a data wall, but I call it a progress wall because I do want students to see their progress, you know. So I'm going to add little popsicle sticks to go inside of the charts, the little pockets, and I will put their numbers on them. So the red represents beginning, the yellow represents proficient, the yellow represents developing, the green is proficient, and the blue would be distinguished. So, and I have to label each section. So like this whole row here would be ELA, one would be early literacy, and the other would be math. So I would just move them up based on the way they test. And this is my little reading corner. So I got these letters here from Michaels, and they were like $4 a letter, but I really, really wanted to do that this year. And of course, I got these pom-poms again from Dollar Tree. And I got this rug and this pillow from Walmart. And I got those two little pillows, the black and white ones, from IKEA. And these are a set of books that came with the classroom. But I just went on and labeled the books by genre and by Lexile level. So as you can see, these Lexile levels are pretty high. They are way above first grade. But I am going to actually, I have some other books, like some phonics fluency books that they're going to read as well. I do have some kids who are coming in here that are reading on level, but yeah, they'll just use some of those. And then up here are my reading strategies. So, you know, if they forget, they're reminded while they're reading down here. And so this is my smartboard. And down here, and one has fell off, are my daily objectives. So my standards, like the standard I'm teaching, will go down here, and it's gonna hang from like a sheet of paper in a clear sheet. And so my standards will actually be printed on there. So like for math, reading, writing, this one's supposed to be science and social studies. Here are my rules. And I got this off of Teachers Pay Teachers. Also, the daily objectives were from Teachers Pay Teachers. The daily objectives are free. And I forgot, I don't know if the rules are free. I want to say they were, I can't remember. But I know I downloaded them last year. What are we learning today? So these are my learning targets. So my learning targets will actually go here. And I think this one was free too from Teachers Pay Teachers. And this is my little easel. This is what I use to teach from. And here on this side of the board is the behavior chart. So everyone starts off on good day, and each student is assigned a number. So if they're doing something that shows positive behavior, I'll just take their number and slide it up to like role model. If I see that child doing something else that's just outstanding, I'll move them up to outstanding. And if they stay on outstanding, by the end of the day, they get to choose an incentive from the class dojo wall. Okay, that worked really well last year for classroom management, so I'm definitely going to use that again. And if students have to move down to think about it, they do have an opportunity to fix their behavior, and I'll move them back up to good day. All right, and then another one here. I'm sorry, wait 1 second. All right, so that's that. And next to it, we have the schedule. So you have the morning routine, and then they have math, reading, specials, writing, lunch, restroom/recess, writing, phonics, academic enrichment, science or social studies, and then the end of the day. And I got these from Teachers Pay Teachers as well. I also got this clip chart from Teachers Pay Teachers, and the numbers, it came from another item that I purchased from Teachers Pay Teachers, but I just used those numbers for the clip chart. So the numbers didn't come with the clip chart, but I used it from something else. And then this is the hundreds chart that I would teach from as well. And this is my little easel for my small group table when I do guided math or guided reading. And I love this little thing already. I haven't even got a chance to use it yet, just because I've been looking for something like this. But I actually got this from the Target Dollar Spot, and it was only $7. So can't beat that. And then up here is where my Saxon Phonics stuff will go. So anything we have to hang up from Saxon Phonics will go right here on this cabinet. And that little square thing here, that is where my iPads are stored. So I am going to move that over here to where these desktops are, because I do not want the students back here at all. So this is like my little area as well. Even when they choose their incentives, they stand like right here on the side. So yeah, I'm gonna move that. Here are my class jobs. I also got this for free on Teachers Pay Teachers. And the way I'm going to classify who does what, you can actually write on this with a dry erase marker. So I'm going to write their numbers beside the job. And yep, here you have like a pencil person, pledge leader, line leader, caboose, table washer, supply monitor, lunch helper, light tech, messenger, backpack helper, door holder, table organizer, and a substitute. So yep. And here is where they were due choose their lunch. So as soon as they come in the morning, they'll put their book bags and things like that away, and then they'll come over here and choose the type of lunch that they would like to get. So every day they have a choice between like hot lunch, PB&J, deli, or grilled cheese, and they will find their little number, and then they'll just clip the cup with the type of lunch they would like to get. So I got those little hangers here from Dollar Tree, and you can get four for $1, which I thought was great, because just even getting 2 of those command hooks, they are expensive. Like they run like $7 and up. So Dollar Tree is the best way to go. Also too, like nothing was hanging on to here. Like I had some little command hooks, and I can't find them now. I think I threw them away, but they were smaller. They actually look like this. And I tried to stick it on here so it can hold my little cups, and my cups kept falling down. So these white command hooks from Dollar Tree, they are a must. They definitely work. Here at the bottom, don't mind this kit, that's just my Saxon Phonics stuff, but right here at the bottom where you see these numbers and the command hooks, these numbers represents the tables they are at. So like for instance, this is group 1. So table 1 will come up and they'll grab their little lunch cards when it's time to go to lunch. So like, for example, that's how their lunch cards look, and they'll just hang by table number. Yep, I had to organize that because, again, that was a mess last year as well. And this is my listening center I was telling you about. I said I would show you that later. So this is a part of my daily 5 centers, and so this is my listening center, and here they have the little clipboards, and they just play the story, and it's like 6 headphones in there, and they'll sit over here and listen to the story while it's playing. And they have the books in here as well. And here I'm going to differentiate this center. So it'll be labeled like group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. And they'll all have different types of worksheets to respond to the reading that they listen to. And I think I covered just about everything. Oh, I didn't. So here are my sit spots. Instead of buying like a $100, $200 rug, you can get these sit spots for like $18 on Amazon. So, yeah, I just call them by table, and they sit on their little sit spots. I think that's a great classroom management tool as well. That will work this year. Here are my groups. So, like, this is table 1, and you're probably thinking, like, why do you have these drawers instead of having the desk? But last year, them using the desk, they were playing with the glue sticks and, you know, creating things and making slime, and it just didn't work out. So I don't want them using their desk at all this year. So what I'm gonna have them do is just like for all of their writing and spelling composition books, they're gonna be labeled with their names on them. They're gonna be put in that middle drawer. Their math composition books will be put where the math is at, and all the science / social studies composition books will be put at the bottom. And they are like that for each and every table. Now this drawer came with the classroom. It was already in here when I got here, so I just decided to utilize that. That way I can, you know, I don't have to spend a bunch of money, like $50 for these. But I did get these drawers from Target, and they were $10. So that's a pretty good price, but just paying for 5 of them is $50, and I didn't want to do that. So like these 2 in the back, I got these 2 from the Goodwill over here in my area, and they were $4 a piece, and they were white. So I just took them home, cleaned them really good, and I spray painted them black so it could go with my little color scheme. And again, and I got these little labels from Teachers Pay Teachers, and the labels that I used for here also came from Teachers Pay Teachers, and they were free. I actually got these little name tags from Lakeshore. So, and they were, I think they were like $3 or something like that. I know they were running a sale, but you got like a bunch of them for that price. And I thought they were really cute. So, yep, just got those this year. All right, and that is everything. Thank you all for watching, and just continue to tune in. Like I said, I plan to do another video kind of discussing my centers and what I do in my centers, but you all have a great one. Thanks.